Howdy peeps, welcome back to the channel and for another inbox review, this time of a Bandai Gundam kit, a Destiny Gundam mobile suit, blah, whichever. I've no idea, don't watch the anime, I just like cool robots like I suspect quite a lot of people do. Now I understand robots aren't for everyone, or mechas, Gundams, Gunplas, whatever you want to call them. But this is another case of they're a good fun model to put together. They're great mojo builders, much like the Bandai Star Wars kits are. Excuse me, and I say they just look cool. So, a bit of basic information. This is a 1/144 scale, tiny little letters down there. It's a 2013 kit, so quite an old one as far as Gundam can be concerned. And it's a real grade, or RG. They do, I think it's 3 different grades. It's the high grade is the more simplified version, includes things like the bear guys, and they aren't as articulated, fewer lower parts count. I think they tend to be 1/100th scale. Then you get the perfect grade, which are the full-on nuts 1/60th scale usually, and they'll even come sometimes with lighting kits in them. Excuse me. So basically real grade is something that an experienced modeler can put together and enjoy, but won't do it in half an hour. As usual with Bandai, quite a bit of info on the box, all of it in Japanese. Here we have a picture of the finished model, some of the gimmicks as they call them, which is the movable parts, and it might be as simple as you can open a little jet thruster up, and showing the full inner frame, which this most of the real grade ones do have, which is all the fully articulated frame, even down to bending fingers. Box ends are the same, and the other side is just some pictures of the model in different poses, different weapon sets with the wings open and closed, that kind of thing. Now what I've actually done with this, I've not actually looked at the plastic. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear, do apologise for that. It's a bit late in the year for me to still be having hay fever, but there we go. We've got our instructions and stickers. Unfortunately they tend not to come with decals, but no, minor issue really. And as we can see, the sprues come bagged either individually or in twos, but I've taken them all out of the bags because they are really crinkly, loud bags. And I figured you wouldn't want to hear that and then put you through the sound of me sneezing. So we'll put this to one side and we'll go through what we get in the box. Running out of space again. Too much on the go at once. I will say thank you to Gil, the Red Dragon, and the guys at the Starring Syndicate for having me on their show for an interview last Friday. It was nice to be there, nice to be part of it, and for going fairly gentle with me and not taking the mickey too much. Anyway, the first thing we pull out is sprue SB12, which is a kind of a rubbery, sort of clear pink plastic. These are the effects parts, so it'll be the not lightsabers but energy swords, I guess you'd call them, and bits like that. And it's just very cool. Pink, yes. There's plenty of air bubbles in the sprues, but there don't appear to be any air bubbles at all in the clear parts, which can probably be tricky when you're moulding thick pieces of clear or semi-transparent plastic to not get the, oh excuse me, my nose is going now, not get air bubbles in it. So you've got the flame effects or feather effects. I'm not entirely sure which they should be. I'm guessing flame on the clear. And yeah, they all look nice. So that's what, and flexy as well. Does it actually say what plastic it's made from? No. Oh, where shall I put these out of the way? They'll do. And we come to the first sprue proper. Sprue A, because yes, I went and put them all in order. And this is another thing Bandai do quite a bit. Multicoloured sprues, so we've got green section, yellow section, main is grey, and then we've got the clear section. I'll bring you in just a little bit, see if we can get the camera to just be on mainly the cutting mat. Oh, somewhere around there, that'll do. So I know if I'm on the cutting mat I'm in shot. So it's nicely detailed, nice crisp moulding. The panel lines are sensible, crisp, clean. If we're looking at it as a normal model kit anyway, we've got say nice levels of detail, nothing over the top. And then if you look at the back you think, what the heck? It's because it's all pushed together clip fit. Obviously you can glue it, and bits where the insides are visible will have detail on the inside of the parts. And as we can see on this sprue, I'll flip it over. We've got the sprue A, Bandai 2013, made in Japan, and PS for polystyrene. That is something that will become apparent later in the review. Actually, maybe the next sprue. Now, if I hold this up a bit closer, we can pick out some of the actual detail on some of these parts. As you can see, very nice, sensible panel lines, nothing spectacular, but all good, all solid on the pale grey. But what strikes me most on this sprue is just how clear that shield is. You can barely see that it's there. If it didn't have the detail on it, it would be absolutely crystal clear and see-through. It's a beautifully done piece of clear plastic. And right in the middle, we have a little 1/144th pilot figure. Whether I ever even attempt to paint that is another matter. Probably not. I think I'll probably go mad if I try to paint 1/144th figures. Does this say on the back? Yes, it does. Now what we get is our sprue B, which is the Advanced MS Joint 4. So this is all the joint sections. And I will actually zoom you in quite close for this, because this does bear close inspection and how and WTF moments. So as I slowly move the sprue around, we can see there's a lot of detail on it. Some of it's a little clunky, obviously, but what might not instantly be apparent is the fact that a lot of these parts you might be able to pick out some slightly different shades of plastic between there and there. For example, these parts are pre-articulated on the sprue. That is to say, there are ball and socket joints, hinges. If we look at the two hands, you can see we've got thumbs, first fingers, second, third and fourth finger. Yeah, we've got a joint there which rotates. I can rotate it up, I can rotate it back. Now it's one of those things where you look at it and you think, how the hell did they do that? So it's some kind of miracle. Well, it is damn good moulding. I don't think many manufacturers could mould at this level. But remember what I was saying about the PS on the back of the other sprue? I'll pop that down and we get the light off, you might be able to see it. So sprue B, Bandai 2011, blah 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 blah. ABS PP. Now what we've got here is two different kinds of plastic, an ABS and a polypropylene, one of which melts at a much higher temperature than the other. So it's a two-part moulding process. They mould the first part of the sprue. Yep, fair enough, as you would, you mould the sprue. But then they take that moulded sprue out, put it into another mould. Yeah, that's going to be a tricky mould. And then they inject the other kind of plastic, which doesn't mix with the first kind of plastic, and it's a much lower temperature, so the first set doesn't melt. And yeah, you end up with workable joints on. I mean, is that a? And yeah, for example, there's a hand with a joint on it as well, and yeah, you end up with workable, fully articulated joints on a sprue. And you see by the leg sections here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about half a dozen bits on those that bend or move, and that is the magic. That's how Bandai make things the way they do. Now, zoom back out again, he says, hoping to go wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Out. Leave the camera still, there we go. And we're back to our more normal plastic with sprue C, which contains some of the weapon parts, some of the armour plates. And to be honest, it's very difficult to know what most of these parts are. That's the chest piece, I'm fairly certain. It's again, the level of moulding is, you know, it's up there. In styrene, it's as well detailed as you would expect it to be. Obviously, they're not riveted, but again, we can see just how complex some of the joints and mating areas are, and everything is different left to right, so that one won't fit on the other. They are amazingly moulded kits, and it's worth building one just to get the pleasure of building one, to know what everyone, or not everyone, but what the fans are on about. Yeah, we have another sprue. This one is single colour. We've actually got the head on here. And again, other than that, I can't tell you what any of the parts actually are. If it was a tank or a plane, I'd have a clue, or no. As I say, it's so many little sub-assemblies clipped together, and you go, oh, it's a leg. I think sometimes Bandai kits can be quite expensive, but because this is a slightly older one and it's come down in price a little, and I also found it on Amazon Prime for a silly steal of a price. I think I paid £18 ish, something around there for this, which, considering the amount of plastic you get and the amount of technology you're getting in the box, is a bloody bargain if you ask me. Again, another sprue with just relatively small parts, nothing uber spectacular detail wise, but I can guarantee it'll all fit together perfectly. Yeah, we get another one, sprue E1, that way up. And we're starting to get the wing sections, because I do recognise those bits as being the wings. Oh, excuse me, it's getting a bit windy again today. And again, we've got the same level of moulding, same level of detail, crispness, no flash, no burring. If you do get a seam line, they're minute, they really are. And these moulds must be taken care of, something chronic. They're probably employing some dude to sit there all day polishing moulds. And sprue E2, which is a mirror of part of E1. Excuse me. And it's again the same. But actually, if I show you this in close up, it's a strange thing I have noticed with some with Bandai kits though, is if you can see on the sprue around here, there are actually air bubbles in the sprues. Actually holes clean through. Now you don't get them on the parts, you do sometimes get them in the sprues. No idea why, whether that's by design, because they always seem to be virtually perfectly circular and all the way through, so whether it's by design or accident I don't know, but they don't affect the parts, or they haven't that I've seen yet, and I've built quite a few Bandai kits. You can see here on sprue F where the sprue itself is, where it's got one of those air bubbles in, is broken, but all the parts on it are in perfect order. Got the main beam rifle, a couple of hands, and a couple more hands, which are multi-part hands. They will be the hands, or that will be the hand that holds the barrel or grip of the gun. And again, everything is nice. It's not overly fine. They're easy to put together, easy to just, you know, put the stickers on and they look cool. Or you can go the extra hog, pull them back apart, because pushed together you can generally pull them completely apart again and then repaint it as and how you see fit. And our final sprue, which I think is more weapon parts, parts for the large sword that you can hold, and more parts for the beam rifle perhaps. But again, everything, you know, you can't flaw Bandai's moulding. You know, you can't find a flaw, there's no faults with it at all. Okay, we've got some really quite nice little detail parts. So that's the plastic. I'm sure you can agree it's well moulded, well detailed, you know, it's solid. And that sprue with the two types of plastic, the over moulding, which is the same way you get the rubberized grips on your tools. If you buy a drill and it's got the rubberized grip but the main body is hard plastic, it's the same kind of thing. And we get our sticker sheet. Again, I probably won't use the majority of them as they are stickers, and I will probably paint it. I might not do though, we'll just see how we go. You also get the metallic stickers to go on in certain places, the green ones for behind the eyes and things like that, just to make the eyes pop in the helmet, in the head. I mean, they are stickers, but they're soft, relatively thin. No, they don't appear to carry too much. Well, carrier film is the wrong term, isn't it? There's not too much extra sticker there beside the detail. And any, say like the larger blue ones, the colouring extends past the edge of the decal. So then we get on to the instructions, and this is where a bit of experience is kind of necessary. They're all in colour, really look good, but they're all in Japanese. you'll get the occasional bit like body unit, backpack unit, waist unit, and those are written in English. The numbers are in English. It'll give you the sprue number in English and then descriptions in Japanese. But no, if you've got a bit of experience at building model kits, you don't really need to be able to read what it says. It's all fairly self-explanatory. Let's just start through with one of the legs. Push that into there. F12, B8, you know, things we're all aware of as modelers. The first bit, E1, E2, that is the sprue, because sprue numbers are just your normal numbers. The actual part number is in the black circle. And any extra little things, now you got to flip that up 90 degrees. It will say flip that up 90 degrees. And where all the actual sprue attachment points are on the legs, because there's quite a lot and they're a bit tricky. But you can't read the writing, but you can understand what they're going on about. And because everything fits so well and it only fits one way, you can't really go wrong with it. So we've got the legs together, and we start with legs and the waist unit. You start with the body, put that together, then the arms. Left arms, putting the arms on the body, popping the head together, popping the backpack together. Which is going to go on for a few pages, because he's got, as I say, he's got the fold-out wings on him. Whether they're wings or a shield, I don't know, but they look like wings to me. And the main sword, beam, weapon thingy. And attaching those to his back. A bit of bump about the various weapons he has. So we've got the beam rifle, which probably actually got a slide moulded barrel tip. We usually do things like that. Popping his shield together. Yeah, those clear parts were swords or daggers. The big clear shield that clips to his arm. And then on the back, you can, I believe you can actually order a decal set for these. You don't have to use the stickers. Some of them do actually come with both, like the Star Wars kits. The Land Speeder's got the stickers and the decals, so you can do either. A very comprehensive guide as to where they all go, and the colours. Well, yes, the colour callouts are all completely in Japanese, so it's sci-fi. You don't have to be accurate. You can paint it whatever colours you like. As I say, it's a what I'd call a marine blue, red, white, grey, lightish green. But you can pick the colours as you go as to what suits you and what you like. The only other actual Gundam I've built was the 00 Riser, and that was moulded in metallic red and pearlescent pink plastic, so that needed to be painted, and I did. I painted it in a Russian scheme, obviously. So there we go. I hope that's shown those of you who either are aware of what a that Gundam are out there and have never seen or built one. Maybe got a fleeting interest in building one. That's showing you what you get and how they work. They are fantastic kits. Well worth the money, especially if you can get them for a decent price like I managed. They build up and they do look really cool stood on the shelf. And there's loads of different designs. Something from ones like these, there's a Grim Reaper one, there's ones with big long arms, there's all different shapes and everything. And everything else like that even. So yeah. If you're interested, don't be put off by the fact that it's anime, because the figures, the robots themselves just look damn cool. And make a nice change from green, brown and grey, and tanks and planes, and especially if you've got a bit of a mojo slump going on, you can't go wrong with a Bandai kit. I definitely pick the mojo back up. So I shall call that it there. I could ramble on a bit longer, but I would just be rambling for rambling's sake. So enjoy your day, have fun, rock on, peace out, bye bye.